Still experimenting. I haven't drawn this out at all. It's just a bit bigger that thing. Just like this photograph out. It's one island on Mitcham Common, and it's a winter scene. There's no snow, but we'll see if we can make it with some snow. If you can see that, I should come in a bit closer. Got a reflection, but I'm not sure I'm going to do it like that. Oops. And I don't like the tree on the left. I'm going to change that tree. But it's got a nice little foreground, nice beach foreground of grasses and bits and pieces sticking up. So we'll see how we go with that. I'll draw a sort of a horizon, just under halfway. And what the photo shows is wind ruffling here and the reflection below it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the reflection straight from the still water. And there are no buildings in this. There's just a lot of shapes and different autumn colours, or late autumn, early winter colours. The trees, some of the trees have got brown leaves, and some are completely void of their leaves. These ones here. So we'll now I'm using my new synthetic sable mix from Recab. It's quite a good brush. I've just done one with it. Another snow scene, and it seems to work quite well. Holds quite a bit of water, and I've got my squirrel mop, which I'm going to use for the sky. I'll put some light on this because it's quite a dull day now. It's getting later. So I'll wet some of the paper here with this squirrel mop. I will use the hake, but I want a bit of a broody sky, so let's just put in some cloud. See, by just wetting part of the paper, you get this hit and miss effect. So it's a bit of alizarin crimson, I think, in the sky, so plenty of water. All very, very quick, coming down to the horizon. Cloud cover. And you can flood the area underneath where you've put your paint, and you can drag. You see, you still get the wet in wet effect, but you've got these areas that haven't been wetted, so you get this hit and miss. Don't want to overdo it, but a bit of cloud in there. It's very exciting. So a bit of all good fun. Okay, no blue. We'll put in some sienna over that. Clean my brush down. I'm just using the mop. I'd love to be able to persevere with this brush, having paid a fair bit of money for it in France years ago, but I've not really used it. Emma Weston used one that was probably a size less than that one. It's just a bit big. I've got a bit ambitious, I think, with it at the time. So as you know, if you've been following my videos, I stopped painting watercolours years ago in favour of oil, and went back to help a friend out with her watercolours, and then I started to make the videos, and I got quite carried away. I quite enjoyed doing all this. Give it a dry. And instead of using the Fabriano, I'm using Bockingford £140 rough, which is a nice paper. You can dry brush on it much easier than you can with the Fabriano. And I stress there's nothing wrong with Fabriano. It's a great paper for what we were using it for. Now I'm going to use the my new £7 brush. This is really quite nice. It holds quite a bit of water. But what I'm going to probably do is to go back to my my portable easel, the Mabeth, which I bought years ago. I treated myself, paid a lot of money for it, and you can get them far cheaper now than I paid for the wretched thing. So we'll put some burnt sienna in there, a bit of water, just to vary the mixes. I'm going to have a bit of green, I think. I'm going to mix the green from burnt umber, lemon yellow, sorry about the cough, it was coffee, and we'll put some green in there as well. Oh, this is a lovely brush. Oh yeah. So this painting is really just to get used to this nice nice brush and paper. Keep the horizon straight. So I'll put in some distant trees now behind that. Oops, a bit too wet. Oh, you can get lovely effects. Oh. Use a bit of a grey, blue grey. A bit darker in there. There. And we'll put in some darker notes along the base here, the bank. And I'll put in, I'll exaggerate this bank here, coming across here, with some greener foliage, so that's a bank going across here. And I can detail some of this later. Right, let's put in some, carry that blue across. Oh, there, this rough paper, it's giving this lovely effect. Look at that, that's lovely. That's not me, that's the brush and the paper. I'll take that much credit for it. So let's get some lovely siennas in here, darker, because we're coming into this area here. I'm just inventing stuff here. Oh, a nice dark in there, Payne's grey, burnt sienna. Whoa. Cool, I'm excited. I'm getting carried away here. Going on like this, I will be carried away. Ah, lovely. The new painting comes up there. Right, so we've got water coming up there. Let's just draw that along there. Is that going uphill? Probably is. But carry on like this, I'll forget how to use the hake. Well, there you go. Right, nice burnt umber in there, I think. The green. Just as an experiment. Let's just detail some of this in here. All these layers of distance, look. A darker green. So there will be some evergreens in the winter. Oh, that's it. That's exciting. I will put some detail in this. This sky's gone quite well. I'm going to put in this beach here now, and I'll exaggerate it. I'll use go back to the mop, and I'll put in just a bit of colour, just to show willing. Oh, let's do a bit of snow, wouldn't I? So let's just put this bank in, and that'll be my snow. And there, I'll do that in blue. Put some harder stuff in. Some grass sticking up in the water, which I'll reflect down. Now I'm using all of the brush, and I'm using burnt sienna mixed with ultramarine blues for these darks. I'm making this up really, I'm just using the photograph as a rough guide. No, just bits of the brush. Sort of thing we're doing with the hake. Oh, let's just. Right, now I'm going to use the hake now to do this tree sticking up here. So I reckon the hake is still the best brush for that sort of stuff. So dark, blue and sienna. I will have coming up here. Get nice and dark. Because this paper is going to be lovely for using the hake. But because it's that much rougher, it's going to be a different use of this lovely brush. I'm not deserting the fold with it by using the sable mix, but I've got to do something different. I've been doing this for 10 months now, and I need to do other things with the brushes and materials. And I'm getting desperate for good material now. A friend of mine's just sent me some lovely photographs of his house or his plot of French countryside. I've never been there, but I'm going to paint them or something. Right, so we can put something on there, and I reckon we could do some banking over here as well, coming across here. Oh, this is lovely, this brush. Oh, in the paper. Oh. So I've got all my fabric on. I've got about 100 sheets of that left, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it all. But it's nice to have other things, other strings. Right, let's use the rigger, and when I do the water, I'm going to, let's have some detail in here. I can't remember what I was going to say now. I'm getting carried away with this paper. I'll put some leaves on the trees. Oh, look at that. That's this over here, just a distance. Bit of distance. I put a bit of weight in there. When I do the reflection in a minute, I'm going to wet all that. Right, let's back to the hake. On the shadow side of the tree. Blue in there as well. Oh, that's all right. That's good. The rigger. I'm going to use the new brush to put the foliage on this. Oh, foliage, the twigs. Let's get some dark in there. Let's a bit of water. Birds, you know, ultramarine. Oh, yes. Could be darker than that. Shadow. Nice dark there. A bit behind, which I'll do in the shadow. Oops. So more blue. Right, some rigger strokes in there. My paint is getting lovely and softened now. I do need to load up on some paint on my palette. It's getting a bit sparse on the colours, and I will be painting tomorrow. So let's get some of this. Just texturing. Right, I'll give that a dry, clean my brushes. Use the squirrel mop for this. So, oops, oh dear, didn't clean that, did I? Oh, I'm going to put some shadows in there, some reflections, I mean. Now remember, when you do this, not to drag your brush too much over what's underneath, otherwise you'll destroy you'll lift it and move the paint. So let's put these in here. Painting the tops of these. Now we've got that burnt sienna in there, so we'll put them in, drop the colours in where they are, so it all matches. Keep a bit of light going on that horizon. Now some dark, so mix a bit of a bit of paint spray with it. Now we've got some darker reflections in there. And I'll move that a little bit. Right, there's a bit more sienna in that distance there. Wet the paper a little bit there. So I'm just discovering what this paper does with elements. Now, with my new brush, I'll just clean the palette a little bit. I'm going to mix up a bit of a shadow colour to show the snow, a bit of blue and red, and we'll with this shadow cast here, some from a tree that's not even in the picture. This is how I'm establishing snow, by just painting some shadows. Right, okay, I'll give that a bit of a dry. Now I need something on the other side now, so to balance that tree, so we'll just put a bit of a dark. Something here. Just something going on there. And then into there we can just show some grass sticking up. Get a bit more dark in this area here. Right, I'll give that a bit of a signature. And we'll see what that looks like in amounts. Well, that'll be it for today. I worked at the day job this morning and yesterday, which is carpet fitting. That's my business. But I'm getting a bit old to do it now. I do a bit, keep my hand in. Otherwise I wouldn't get any exercise. Well, there we are. One island, Mitcham Common, let's just go into it. That's the background. Very, very simple. I suppose I could, yes, I will, while you're watching, I'll just a bit of weak paint, I'll bluish. Oh, just do some calligraphy in that one. I reckon we could just do a little bit of ivy. Just like there. that'd be too far to really show as a reflection on that. It'll dry later anyway. So there we are, coming to this tree. I used the hake for that, as you saw, because the hake is still a great brush for doing these things. I'm not going to abandon hake. But I am enjoying using this paper and the new brush because it does things a bit easier than the hake in this sort of shape. You get a lovely canopy shape with it. The hake being rather large, you don't always see where the bristles are going. So I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with this as an experiment. I hope you enjoyed that. Let's just zoom out, show you the picture again. Mitcham Common is some common land near where I live. I live about 3 miles away from it. And it has these islands on a small lake or very large pond. They're small islands. It's a lovely fishing spot, a beautiful spot in suburbia, a lovely oasis of calm, and I've just discovered, well, I discovered it about a year ago. I've always lived near it, but I never went there as a child. My wife did, and my friends used to go fishing, but I didn't. But I love it now. Better late than never. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.